With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
KFI AM 640 and YouTube. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We are live just everywhere. And if you're going somewhere, why don't you just take us with you? You can listen in the car. You can have the kids in the back with us on the YouTube. It does not matter. Just take the show with you wherever you go. And just before the show started, the crew was just sitting around talking about Shannon Sharpe. Can't tell you everything we said, but you remember that we told you about this story before anyone. And I'm going to save it for my final remarks. If you don't know, the latest in a news sense is Shannon Sharpe, ESPN personality, and also wildly successful podcasting personality, who was getting ready to sign a $100 million deal, stepped away from ESPN today for an indefinite leave of absence that he says he chose, and it was his decision. Well, my final thought will be on that tonight. And we told you what was coming. And in fact, it's going to get worse before it gets better. This was just the first example of consequences for something that may not have been illegal. I know he's accused of illegal behavior, but you need not be found guilty of a crime or liable in a lawsuit for your whole career and brand to go up in smoke. But that's later on in the show. Also this hour, though, we're going to tell you another reason to stay your ass out of the water. How many times have we talked about the poop water? How many times have we told you about, like, the sea lion who bit the young lady? It's like, these are hints to stay out of the water. Now we got to talk about the toxic algae and how that is killing mammals. Oh, by the way, humans, mammals. So if it's killing dolphins, whales, there's a good chance when they say toxic algae, it's toxic to you as well. We will talk about that next segment. And former LA sheriff and, almost forgot. I always have this habit of mixing up Villanueva and Villanueva.
You got to say it right. Yeah, that's how you...
No, I'm just saying. I had to slow down because I almost did it again. But guess who is up for a new job? Anyone? Well, actually, both of them are up for a new job because we know Villanueva is running for governor, and I can't do a Villanueva. Villanueva, he is running for head of Metro, and we'll talk about that this hour as well. But do you remember when he was sheriff and he went after Metro? And there was some raid they had on Metro, and they were accusing Metro of something that was connected to corruption. I don't know how you go to the place that you investigated and say, hey, I want the job. He wants to be the head of the emerging Metro police force.
Maybe he's the only one who can fix it.
He and he alone.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah, okay. We'll talk about it. And this last story this hour, Mark Rodder, is especially for you. It is only for you. It is because of you.
Let's see here. California economy now the world's fourth largest.
Yes, overtaking Japan. We had our information incorrect. We did not have our facts together. We said it was the fifth largest economy, and the fifth largest economy in the world couldn't possibly be failing. Now we have to update it to the fourth largest economy in the world.
I think that news broke last night, and I was hoping to get on. I didn't have a chance, but I was hoping to get online and see all the people complaining about it and trying to explain it away, all the California haters, because it's got to be cause some cognitive dissonance to be doing nothing but dumping on California constantly and then seeing this news.
It's popular to do, especially within political circles. And I don't think, this is just me, I don't think people really understand what an economy is.
I see a lot of people from red states that are the leech states that, and when I say that, I mean they take more than they contribute to the federal budget.
Yes.
California gives like $82 billion, something like that extra. It's always funny to me to see somebody from states with, that rely on essentially its welfare from the federal government talking about what a crap hole California is, There's a reason we may complain about the cost of living. Part of it is because people want to be here. It's very expensive to live here because real estate is very expensive, and real estate is a reflection of demand. People want to live here. Now, there are people who may leave, and I'm getting ahead of myself because we're going to talk about this in depth at the end of the hour. People may leave for various reasons, and yes, California definitely has its issues, be it homelessness, be it crime if you're in the urban areas. And California's not one city. You can go up to Fresno. It's very different from Los Angeles. San Diego is very different from Redwood or Bakersfield. It's a very, very diverse state as a whole. But when you talk about economy, it's not, well, my neighbor doesn't have a job or I don't have a job, so therefore the economy's horrible. That's not how an economy works. But we'll get into that near the end of the hour. And our in-house Toys R Us expert, Tawala Sharp, who used to work for Toys R Us many years ago, tells us that there is a live action movie in the works. How can you have a Toys R Us live action movie?
It's coming. Just know Toys R Us is coming back even stronger than ever.
That's like making a Walmart movie or a Home Depot movie.
No, because...
Well, more teeth than a Walmart movie.
Yeah, and Toys R Us has so much more... Damn it.
Not the people who are in Walmart.
No, it's the memories attached to it. It's one of the most beloved franchises ever. It only went out because online. But the story of Toys R Us, yes.
Okay.
Is the giraffe going to be the protagonist?
Yes, it's got to be all about Joffrey.
Okay, all right.
Well, it had a name?
Yes.
Yeah, Jeffrey.
Is it Jeffrey or Joffrey?
Joffrey.
Which is
Joffrey is the evil king from Game of Thrones. I would watch a movie with the two of them.
I would watch neither of them.
My old manager, the store manager, he called him Joffrey, and he used to say, people like to say Jeffrey, but around here we say
what is
Joffrey.
he, British? Is the giraffe British?
No, he just like the
Did he say schedule or schedule?
Yeah. He didn't say.
Did he say chocolate or did he say chocolate?
He did have a weird way of saying, what was the word? There was a word they said.
Did he say like about or did he say a boot?
No, a boot.
Well, that's Canadian.
Whatever. They all sound alike to me.
I will get to the movie at my leisure.
Right. It's later with Mo Kelly. When we come back, we got to tell you, stay out of the water. Toxic algae. That's next. KFI AM 640 and YouTube.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI, Mr. Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app and YouTube. You can tune in and see us right now on YouTube. At Mr. Mo Kelly is the handle. So get in the habit of just watching the show, just like you would any other TV show. Great production. Thanks to our video technical director, Daniel Ferguson, who helps us out every single day. Let's get to this story about this toxic algae. And I'm going to combine some things. We talked about how debris runoff, sewage, has polluted our oceans. I was being flippant when I say, you can't keep the sewage in one place. You might as well not go in the water at all. That would be the safe thing to do. Then we talked about the sea lion, which attacked the young woman a few weeks ago. There's actually a connection between all of this. Listen to this as far as toxic algae goes.
Oh no, this poor baby. It's a heartbreaking scene playing on repeat all along the Southern California coast as dozens of dolphins are dying due to the toxic algae bloom now stretching from San Diego to San Luis Obispo.
It's the worst we've ever seen here in Southern California. on many different fronts, but dolphin strandings, it's unprecedented.
This is how we love to see the treasured creatures in massive stampedes. But in the last week, there have been more than 50 dead and dying dolphins found along the LA County coast, 16 in San Diego on Sunday alone.
It has really been consistently severe. I mean, the number of animals coming up on the beaches, either with seizures or dead or dying.
Now, these are mammals. If this is happening to mammals, then most likely it's toxic to you as well.
Has continued at a pretty high rate.
Sea lions are traditionally the main victims of a toxic algae bloom, which can cause them to turn aggressive, attacking beachgoers.
Ah, there it is. There it is. Sea lion attacked that young lady. I think it was last week we talked about it, maybe 2 weeks ago. There is the connection. Another reason, stay out of the water.
Sea lions are traditionally the main victims of a toxic algae bloom, which can cause them to turn aggressive, attacking beachgoers. But now it's moving further up the food chain. Researchers say the minke whale found in the port of Long Beach and a young gray whale in Huntington Beach both died due to domoic acid toxicity.
It is a natural phenomenon that happens because of offshore winds, cold water upwelling, but it can be fed and sort of put on steroids by the things that we're doing.
Debris from the wildfires.
What? What? Did they say debris from the wildfires?
Yeah.
Debris from the wildfires.
So we have sewage. That's our doing. Debris from the wildfires. That's our doing. And the effects of it, you have sea lions attacking people. You have dolphins dying. From what I read here, it is 100% fatal for dolphins. 100%. No chance. No chance of survival. And if it's no chance of survival for dolphins and sea lions and whales, all of whom happen to be mammals, then what do you think it's going to do for humans? Yeah, we may not be in the water as much, obviously, as sea living mammals, but still it would have to be toxic to humans.
Absolutely. And when we give these beach going warnings, I don't know why people say things like, well, I'll just go shower off. I don't know if you've seen these, but I go and take a shower, this, that, and the other. I'm not swimming in it all day. And I'm like, it's getting in your orifices, it's getting, in your nose, it's getting in your eyes, in your ears, in your mouth.
If you've ever been in the ocean, you're going to get some in your mouth.
All of that is going in you, and it's affecting you in ways that you may not know. We may not be 100% linked to dolphins and minke whales and sea lions, but I promise you, mammal is mammal. It affects us in some way, somehow, and we don't know what it's doing to our minds, our brains. We don't know what's happening if it's affecting sea lions and beaching whales, beaching dolphins. What is it doing to our minds?
Well, you might be onto something, Tuala, because the number of animals coming up on the beach, either with seizures. So there is a neurological component to all this. Seizures or deaths and dying has continued at a pretty high rate. Sea lions are traditionally the main victims of the toxic algae. We've talked about how it can cause them to turn aggressive. And there's a food chain portion to this. Debris from the wildfires and fertilizer runoff are helping fuel the toxic algae, which are eaten by small fish, which are then eaten by marine mammals and birds. I'm quite sure it's then in part of our food supply. That would be the reasonable assumption.
There's also been lots of pelicans and lots of seabirds along the Southern California coast who've also been dying. So there's that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I haven't made any jokes about this, because this is actually very serious. You can start connecting these dots. Yeah, we talked about how dirty from the raw sewage our oceans are, or at least our coastline is. That's more of a normal occurrence. We go through that just about every year, and for whatever reasons, we don't want to listen to that. Then we had the fires. We told you about the debris, which was also running into the ocean, and all the toxic chemicals and which is in the debris. Now you have the naturally occurring toxic algae, which is made worse by the sewage, made worse by the debris and the runoff. Yeah, this is going to be a major issue. And I think it's being not necessarily downplayed, but I don't know if it's been given the due focus that it should, because what month is this? Okay, we're almost in May. That's beach season. We're going to have more people than ever on a day-to-day basis on the beaches, in the water. And they said from, San Luis Obispo to San Diego, you might as well just say the whole coastline from here to there, from LA to San Diego, are going to be in this water. Not safe at all.
Debris from the wildfires and fertilizer runoff helping to fuel the toxic algae, which is eaten by small fish, which are then eaten by marine mammals and birds, causing a potentially deadly toxic overdose.
I said that. I don't know why she always repeats what I said, just steals my thunder. Now, we're going to have to come back to the story because it will happen again, and you'll have people who will be getting sick, more dolphins, which will be dying, more whales, which will be dying, and we'll say, oh my gosh, what is going on? Is there some connection to all this? Yes, it's all connected. That's why they call it an ecosystem. It's later with Mo Kelly, KFI AM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app and YouTube. When we come back, we're going to give you an Alex Villanueva update and also a Metro triple update.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI, Mr. Mo Kelly. It's Later with Mo Kelly, live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app and YouTube. Join the video show on YouTube at Mr. Mo Kelly. Let's talk a little bit about Metro. We have a three-peat, if you will, story after story after story. Here's the first one. You may not know the name of Stephanie Wiggins. She is the CEO of Metro. She just got a pay raise. Her compensation last year was $400,000. And it's almost exactly $400,000. But in a 12-0 vote today, the LA County, Metro Board of Directors extended Wiggins' contract for an additional 4 years, which will take us through the Olympics, with an option of 1 year renewal at the discretion of the board, the County Board of Supervisors. Twala, you want to guess what her salary will be going forward?
$105,000 a year.
Presently, her salary is $400,000 per year.
They're going to reduce, right, because of all of the budget cuts that we were just told about. So it's going down to about $105,000.
Well, here's the thing: this is LA County, not LA City. Even though Karen Bass may sit on the,
I thought because she was part of the Metro board that it would somehow.
It's a county agency.
Don't tell me it's going up.
Mark, you want to take a guess?
I think I knew the number from a story that we had earlier in the evening.
Stephanie, do you want to take a guess?
$500,000.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
There's no way.
Yes.
I thought
actually, you're a little low. It's $510,000 per year.
Well, it's merit based,
and also he was closest to the retail price without going over.
But what is up with our? I thought we were broke. I thought the city,
broke.
the county.
No, not
I
the
thought
county.
everything is broke.
No, that's broken. That's not the same thing as broke. Okay. So Stephanie Wiggins will have a raise of $110,000 per year, and the contract will take effect June 1st. 12-0 vote. Here are the people who voted for it. Supervisor Janice Hahn, Supervisor Catherine Barger, Supervisor Lindsay Horvath, Supervisor Hilda Solis. Supervisor Mitchell was not present for the vote. Mayor Karen Bass did vote for it. City Council members Katie Yaroslavsky and Imelda Padilla. Inglewood Mayor James Butts. Pomona Mayor Tim Sandoval. Whittier City Councilman Fernando Dutra. And Jacqueline DuPont Walker, the founding president of the Ward Economic Development Corporation. All voted in favor of the raise. Now, this is what the Metro released as a statement. Quote, CEO Wiggins has led Metro through challenging circumstances in the wake of violent crimes. She has worked with our board to prioritize safety. No, they did not say that. Prioritize safety, install barriers on our entire bus fleet to protect our bus operators.
Oh, wow.
Expand the successful tap to exit program and pilot technology to keep weapons off our system. Under her leadership, ridership has grown for 28 straight months.
Do you suppose that all the people who voted for the raise actually take the Metro?
Oh, I suspect none of them do.
Interesting. That's interesting.
I can't confirm that, but I suspect that. But here is what bothers me the most. We know that Metro was very slow to acknowledge the crime problem it had. We know that Metro was very slow to address the crime in terms of public acknowledgement and also systems put in place. We were haranguing on this because what did they do? They gave us ambassadors. They gave us classical music on platforms. They said, no, it's the crime, stupid. That's the real issue. So for you now to have this revisionist history and tell us that CEO Wiggins was responsive and did this, that, and the other, hell, I should get some of that $100,000. I put it in the work.
Well, don't minimize the classical music. It is much more pleasant to get stabbed to Mozart or Debussy.
I mean, when those ambassadors, I mean, that was one of the things they rolled out. It's like, see, this is what we're doing to address the issue of crime and safety on our metro system. We were the ones who were talking about the bus drivers who were getting routinely attacked, and they wanted to say, no, it's safe. We were talking to Michael Monks. Metro was mad at me because of what I was talking about, but they wouldn't come on the show. And now they have the dirty nerve to give Stephanie Wiggins an extra $100,000. They owe me money.
They had time to write the letter, but not come on the show.
Sure did.
Well, we have to make sure that we are covering all aspects of this, because I do believe that former guest of this program, Sheriff Alex Villanueva, is possibly running for a seat on Metro because he does listen to the show, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to take Mo up on this.
Here's the thing. He's trying to be head of the forthcoming Metro Police Authority Department, whatever. So from what I understand, if I have this correctly, it's a straight up job application. He wouldn't have a seat on the board. He's just going to be chief of police of Metro. And it would be rather odd and uncomfortable given the acrimony between Villanueva and also Metro, because when he was sheriff, he had Metro investigated for corruption. Now, as we talk about the salary of Stephanie Higgins, you may look at that a little bit differently now. But the way he went about it earned him no friends at Metro, earned him no friends with the LA County Board of Supervisors, because still he would be under the direction of the LA County Board of Supervisors. We just showed you in the way that Stephanie Wiggins was under the board, he too would be under the board. I don't know how in the world he would get the job, but maybe we need to ask him to come back on the show so we can talk about it, get some insight. I don't know, because it's just one of those things that, after you leave a job, you burn some bridges, and you better not need anything from them. you just don't want to cross that bridge again, because why? You burned it. I think it's fair to say that he burned I was going to read something else. He burned the bridge with the LA County Board of Supervisors, who obviously would have tremendous pull and influence as far as who's going to be the first Metro chief of police. I don't think it's going to be Alex Villanueva. I don't think that they're going to open up that can of worms again. But there is some good news. I said that I had like a three-peater, a trifecta of Metro news. Finally, and I do mean finally, they will have a Metro line which is going to actually go to the airport. I don't know how many years it has taken. I want to say maybe 45 years. No exaggeration. I'm being serious. It's actually going to go to the airport, and it's going to open on June 6th. We're going to have Metro Transit Center opening on June 6th, and it will actually connect the Metro to the airport. This is different from People Mover. That's also coming, but that's also not here either. So June 6th, there will be a connection to the airport, and it only took it almost half a century.
Will you be using this?
I've actually thought about it, and I'll tell you why. I live close enough to a Metro stop where it would be pretty easy for me. And I think you know this, Stefan, as well. Mm-hmm. It's right at the end of
aviation is where I know where I turn off. But
well, for me, I'm going in the other direction. I'm talking about one down by Figueroa.
Yes.
Yeah, Figueroa. And it's about maybe Imperial Highway. Figueroa and Imperial. There's a big park and ride there where I could feasibly, in theory, park my car there, go to the airport, and I can come back and get my car, but I wouldn't want to leave my car in that park and ride for more than 20 minutes because it's going to get broken into.
They already cleared out like a parking lot for where I'm guessing Uber and Lyft are going to be able to drop and pick people up.
Yeah, so I'd probably just stick with an Uber and Lyft. I'm not doing a Waymo. That's out. After yesterday, not happening.
What?
Not happening. No.
How dare you bring Waymo back into this?
They took 2 women hostage. I mean, that's terrorism.
That's literally not the story.
No, that's what happened.
They were not taken hostage.
Could they get out of the car when they wanted to? Yes or no?
You know what? We don't know where they were at. They were on the freeway. We don't know what was going on.
No, there's video and there's audio. There's
only video of them inside the car. We don't know what was really going on before, after. We don't know why they had
the full video.
Come on.
Okay.
This is you're giving us half a story here. The 2 ladies were trapped. What were they doing before they were trapped? They were probably acting erratic.
There you go. Blaming the victim.
They probably locked themselves into the car.
Damn straight.
I tell you, when you're on the take, that money must be good money. I tell you. It's later with Mo Kelly, KFI AM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app and YouTube. And we're going to have a shout out for Mark Ronner when we come back.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Well, it's Later with Mo Kelly on KFI AM 640.
Live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app and YouTube. And this is something that we were informally discussing over the past few weeks. Mark Ronner was talking about California and how at that time it was the 5th largest economy in the world. In other words, if California were its own country, it would have the 5th largest economy. And that is measured by GDP, gross domestic product. Well, now we know with the latest economic numbers that California, if it were its own country, it would rank as the 4th largest economy in the world. And you wonder, well, who's 1, 2, and 3? Well, the United States is first at $29.18 trillion. China at $18.74 trillion. And then Germany at $4.65 trillion. We are $4.1 trillion, meaning Germany at $4.65 trillion is relatively speaking in reach.
We're coming for Germany next.
Yep. And you may say, well, I don't like California. California has so many problems. Well, this is about math. This is about a measurement which is consistent for all countries in terms of how it's measured. And GDP quantifies the total market value of all final goods and services produced within the borders of the country, or in this case, the state of California, during a specific time period. Things like cars, houses, those are goods. And you have services like haircuts, and as well as medical care and education. All put together, that total amount, gross domestic product, California, 4th largest economy in the world. And I use that to say when you have a growing GDP, that's usually an indicator of a healthy economy. There's not such a thing as a perfect economy. It is a healthy economy. It doesn't mean that everyone you know and everyone you love will have a job. It doesn't mean that the price of eggs will be what you want. It does not mean that you will be able to afford your rent next month. It is a statement about the health of the totality of the economy. And what frustrates me, Mark, and you know this, is people think their immediate circumstances and the people on their street is indicative of the economy. And I hear it from people in my neighborhood. It's like, hey, I can't find a job. No one I know has a job. And it's like, well, I'm sorry to hear that, but that doesn't mean the economy's bad.
Yeah, that's why anecdotal information doesn't really count toward the big picture. Also, I got to tell you, it seems like an article of faith that Newsom is a terrible governor, and I'm sure I'd be escorted out of the building by security if I suggested otherwise. But this upward movement of California's economy would seem to suggest he's not doing absolutely everything wrong. I get it if you don't like him or his voice or his hair, or he's never going to live down the French laundry thing. But this is objectively positive data that I have to figure into my view of things. It goes against my DNA as a journalist to defend any politician ever for anything, but it's also in my DNA to accept information if it adds up, whether I like it or not.
We don't have nuanced discussions. We don't have factual discussions. We can disagree with the policies and the ideology of this governor, and there are a lot of things that I severely disagree with him. I vehemently disagree with him on. But the GDP is the GDP. It's not a political number. It's like the job numbers from the labor. It's the numbers are what the numbers are.
Yeah, right. And so if you're like from Idaho and you're complaining about what a whole California is, get back to me when you're contributing more than you're taking.
Explain that, Mark, for those who don't know about the federal system and how we pay into it and help subsidize, 15 states or however many.
Yeah, there are giver states and taker states. California, I think, contributes $82 billion, at least the most recent time, to the federal government. Other states take more from the federal government than they pay in.
When I'm on social media, and of course that's anecdotal, and a lot of social media is not real to begin with. I'm talking about bots and people who are there specifically to mislead and misinform other people. But when I'm on
Mr. Mo Kelly,
yes, when I'm on social media, I see an incessant barrage of I hate California, or New York is better than California, Florida is better than California, Texas is better than California. And my thing is, if you want to leave. I don't care about people leaving the state. I just think we're being dishonest about how quote unquote bad California is. It does have a problem with crime in certain quadrants. It does have a problem with homelessness in certain quadrants. It does have a problem. When I say problem, there's the reality of cost of living. It's expensive to live here. Why? Because there's high demand to live here. There are a lot of worse places to live. I've lived in some of them, or at least I've driven through some of them. And I don't want to stay there. And honestly, for as many complaints as we have about California, we got probably the best weather in the country. We have the best amenities. If you want to call it a house, we have the best amenities. We literally have, you can go skiing and surfing the same damn day if you're willing to put in the drive. You can go to the amusement parks. You can go to a national park the same day. So as much as we want to complain about California, put it in its proper perspective. You can say that you would rather live in Texas. I've been to Texas. I've spent a lot of time in Texas. It's not all that great.
Yeah, if you're saying that, go to Texas. Please leave.
I'm not going. I'm fine with it. Now, can we do things better in this state? Yes. Were there things that Governor Gavin Newsom could have done, should have done better, maybe more in alignment with your political ideology and preference? Of course, absolutely. But that doesn't make California a hellscape. Sorry. It just doesn't.
When I am just functioning in the world as a human, I try to cut through the tribalism and the propaganda to just get down to what the facts are. And this is an objective fact that you have to figure into how you view things.
And this is not an endorsement of Gavin Newsom.
No.
It's just the GDP is the GDP. The larger the GDP, the healthier the body, because it's not a country, so it's a state. So the GDP is increasing, the health of the economy and the importance of the California economy, more importantly, is increasing. If it were decreasing, then we need to have a conversation. Then you got to say, wait a minute, we're really moving in the wrong direction. Something may be wrong.
Yeah, California just tends to become sort of the boogeyman for tribalism and media attacks when this sort of flies in the face of that, at least in certain facets.
Well,
I'm not tickled about the fact that I can't so much as afford a postage stamp of land to live on, but that's just one thing.
But that's part of the reason why we have a high GDP.
Yeah.
The exchange of goods and services contribute to that. And that's why, even though there are some industries which may be leaving the state of California, it's not affecting or impacting the overall health of the economy of California. And that's what I think is lost in the larger discussion. If we could say, well, we're losing movie industry and we're losing a lot of productions, and then you would see our GDP reflect that, then that's a different conversation to have. But we're not moving in that direction.
Well, next we'll talk about your filthy, woke California values.
Well, that is a different discussion. I hear it all the time in my notes. You're woke liberal. We don't want you on KFI. KFI is not for liberals. It's like, okay, thank you for listening. I don't know if you saw this. Real quick, I know we're out of time. I had this complaint from this listener. I'm not going to even say her name. She was complaining. She didn't even listen to the show. She was complaining about a promo she heard.
Which one?
I don't know. She didn't even tell me.
But she sent the complaint to you?
Yes.
That's weird.
I heard she said something to the effect of, I heard your promo on KFI, and KFI is not for liberals. You need to go.
Oh, so it's just the fact that you're being promoted, period.
Yeah. I was like, I wish people actually took time to listen before you complained. Learn about my politics, my personal politics, which I rarely discuss, before you complained.
Yeah, seriously. I think you're kind of a fascist, actually.
Well, it's really funny, the things that come to me, and they swear that's what I believe, and they can't tell me at any time I've ever said anything which would confirm that I would believe X, Y, and Z. From voter ID to immigration to taxes, all that kind of stuff. Terrorists.
Go figure.
It's kind of funny. It's almost like they're making a snap judgment for something having nothing to do with whatever I say.
It's like you're almost getting at something there.
KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere on YouTube and the iHeartRadio app.
You can listen to KFI everywhere, like you haven't noticed.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio.